It's shaping up to be a cautious but positive start to the week on the Australian share market today, after a mixed performance by overseas markets on Friday night. In the United States, Wall Street fell modestly as traders feared a shutdown of the US government if an agreement over budget cuts wasn't met. That deal was eventually forthcoming at 11 p.m, an hour short of the midnight deadline, but well after Wall Street closed. Meanwhile, European markets were up on Friday night as European finance ministers agreed on an €80 billion bailout package for Portugal. An hour into trade this morning, the ASX 200 index is 16 points, or about 1/3% higher, with strength in the resources leading the way after a jump in commodity prices on Friday night. In company news, shares in BHP Billiton are up more than 1% at $48.30 after Australia's biggest diversified miner announced that it's completed its buyback after upsizing the deal to $6 billion following a strong response from investors. But perhaps the bigger news this morning pertaining to BHP is reports in UK newspaper Sunday Times that the company is in discussions with Royal Dutch Shell regarding the acquisition of its 24% stake in Woodside Petroleum. That could potentially form the launching pad for a $40+ billion takeover bid for Australia's largest oil and gas producer. That news has Woodside Petroleum shares soaring more than 7% at $50.74 this morning. And in news not so pleasant, shares in Australia's biggest construction company, Leighton Holdings, remain in a trading halt. They last traded at $28.94, but the company has this morning confirmed the worst fears that it will suffer a $907 million bag of write-downs on particularly two major projects, one in Queensland and one in Victoria, as well as the carrying value of its Middle Eastern business. The company says the outlook remains positive with more than $46 billion worth of projects up its sleeve, but it won't be paying shareholders a second half dividend and has been forced to raise $757 million in capital to repair its balance sheet following the write-downs. Leighton will be selling those shares at $22.50, a 22% discount to where they last traded, suggesting the stock may fall heavily when it reopens on Wednesday. And finally, on the currency front, the Australian dollar continues to march to fresh 30-year highs against the greenback. It's currently buying 105.7 US cents. This is Toby Grimm for Young Stockbrokers.